Hey y'all, welcome. It is Wednesday, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're gonna be checking in, talking about the gossip, getting into the reality TV. So, y'all, I'm just gonna jump right into it, okay? So, first I want to get into the gossip side, and then I'm gonna talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm gonna go into the gossip, and then we're gonna get into Baddies. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is Shannon Sharpe. Now my thing is, date whoever you want to date. This ain't even that type of channel, but it's the age gap that is like the main issue for me. The fact that you're in your 50s, right? I believe he was allegedly 52 at the time, while she was allegedly 19. Yeah, that's too far. That's way too far. And there's no need for you to be conversing anything with the 19-year-old. So, but I brought it up because it was a video where he was on nightcap, right? And he was talking to the people and everything. And then randomly, what was the words he used? Hold on, y'all, because I gotta get it right.
Touching on me. What's wrong with you?
Ooh, hold on, y'all. How do I mute my Okay, that's what he said.
I only heard from two teams. Guess what the two teams they called me on to say, what's your phone number? Where you gonna be? Who that? Shut the fuck up. Next door.
That is and mind you, he's on nightcap, right? So it's two other people there. They talking, they having a random conversation. I mean, they having a normal conversation. Then he randomly says, "Shut the," and then like he changed to a whole nother person, and then came back to the camera view to be the person that we see him to be on TV. Baby, this is nasty work, and this is not helping your case. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not gonna get into the other things that she alluded to, because I already said my issue with that too. But this ain't helping. This ain't helping because to me that video just shows, okay, he got a different version of him off and a different version. Well, now don't get me wrong. When we all go to work, we all got our different versions, right? We all move a certain way, say certain things, and then when we with our friends, when we more comfortable, we do other things. That's not what I'm saying here, baby. I'm talking about that quick flash. And even the two hosts, they didn't even know what to do. It's like they wanted to save them, but they really ain't have much to say. Ocho just started laughing, and Ocho was like, yeah. So it's like they did not know what to say. And then for him to do that and to say the neighbors. What? So do you think the neighbors hear you? Like, did you think they heard that and they was just gonna be quiet now? Like, was it a noise complaint issue? Like, I don't know, Shannon. It's not looking good. That's all I'm saying. It is not looking good at all. Okay, so I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all some more details on the case. But so far, the way he's moving with all of this is going wrong. I don't think he should have made that statement he made when his hands was all greased up at the table. He shouldn't have did that. And I don't understand why his attorney advised him to do that. Or maybe his attorney advised him not to and he went against it. But I don't think that helped and that hit the way he thought it was going to hit. I think he thought that everybody was gonna run to his rescue. Because I mean, two things can be true, right? That person that he named in the video can be out for black men, and then there can be some other things, happening with Shannon Sharpe as well. So we don't know. You know, everything is alleged. In my opinion, I do have a Pomeranian. Y'all might hear in the background. But yeah, we're gonna move on. Now I want to get into Funny Mike. Now, if y'all don't know Funny Mike, he is a streamer and a YouTuber. And the only thing I really want to get into with Funny Mike is they were in the living room, right? And he had his barber there. Now, mind you, the barber conversation when everybody was in the room, the family was just kikiing and laughing, right? But I found it interesting that London, the little girl who came up with that Pookie Link, girl, well, I don't know if she came up with it, but she made the dance, known. The barber asked her a weird question, right? So London, the little girl said, I don't like your girlfriend. And he said, why you don't like my girlfriend? What, you got a crush on me? What do you mean? Do you have a crush on me? I don't care if it's in a joking way, a kiki way. That wasn't funny. And I don't understand why a man at your age would even joke with a little girl like that. Because little boy crushes or crushes and stuff like that, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. And I'm really hoping that Funny Mike check that because it seemed like that's his barber. Mm-hmm. And he asked that question when neither of the parents was in the room, even though they were on stream, so you can hear and see everything. He didn't ask that question when they was all in the room, so I'm a little confused and concerned. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's something we need to normalize. That's how the whole grooming stage start. You get the joking and key. Not saying that he is a groomer, but I'm just saying in different situations, that's how grooming starts. So, yeah, I don't understand. Just the inappropriate behavior so far that we've just talked about through these people. I'm not understanding. Now, the next person that I want to get into is Dear Future Wife Podcast. I'm sick of y'all. I think it's what Jamal Bryant. Now I respect marriage, right? I respect it. I think, it's a beautiful thing when it's done right? And I don't think everybody is perfect. But for Jamal to have a podcast that says Dear Future Wife Podcast, I'm going to make sure I say it right. And to bring these women, these wives on this podcast, and from what I've heard so far, their experience was treacherous. Like, it was terrible, the stuff that they had to deal with, put up with. And it's like the men are just sitting off to the side. It's almost like feeding their ego as the women is explaining how bad they were treated and they still stayed. Right? And even from like this example, the last episode, I believe it was, she say she stayed with her husband because her mom left her husband and she feel like her mom is the reason why they don't have a family no more. So she didn't want to do that. That wasn't a deal breaker for her. Even though her wasn't husband then, but is now husband, was telling her she has low self-esteem, how he loved her, but like the other women, she was ironing clothes for this man to go see other women. And these are the examples, Jamal Brain, that you are bringing to the forefront. And this is my problem. Because I know there are beautiful marriages out there. I know there are beautiful relationships out there. But it seems like we don't get to see that, right? We don't get to see the butt of that. We get to see just trauma. Like, that podcast was worse than Zues Network, if you ask me. Like, that is terrible how it just gives that women have to endure a whole lot in order for them to be respected in this 20, 30-year marriage. For me, I'm not trying to be in a 30-year marriage if 28 of them years was hell. What's the point? It gave like marriage was just on your checklist. Like, you just had to get it off the checklist. You had to get married no matter how it looked, how it sound, how it feel. How it looks in your life, how it changed the trajectory. Like, it don't matter. Like, they just wanted to get married. So I really don't like that podcast. I'm not feeling it. I feel like, and then they are a different generation as well, unfortunately. So they do kind of have a little more patience when it comes to that, and not even really patience because a lot of them just didn't have a choice. But yeah, I'm not feeling it, and I don't think that's something that we should be putting out to the community. I don't think we should be telling women that they have to endure and put up with certain things just to say that you are married. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it, marriage ain't easy, but there's have to be boundaries. There has to be boundaries. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna do a little shift, just a little shift to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, when the season first started, I was a little nervous because when you have an audience that's used to a certain cast for so many years and then you randomly just take them off and add new people, sometimes it's not really a good mix. But I feel like this season was good until they took Kenya off. That's where I think they messed up at. Because if you're going to remove Kenya, then you have to remove Britt. Because both actions were bad. And to make Kenya seem like her actions was way worse than Britt when them pictures was already on the internet and been seen. But Britt talking about she got a pew pew, she got whips, then she calling her husband. Like she was doing a whole lot of Zeus Network activity for them to leave Britt on the show. Then y'all took out Kenya confessionals. For that, I don't think that's fair. And then Britt gets to wallow and get to have a little pity party, which nobody really cared for, especially Drew. Because you're not a victim. Like, that's like Drew said at the table at Kelly's tea party for Drew. Why are we here? We here because we're doing a support tea for you because you did something to Kenya and she got her get back. Now, Kenya, I love Kenya down. I'm going to be honest. I do not think that was the time and the place. I'm going to be very honest. I think you should have found another way to get back at her. And quite frankly, you were already getting at her, which is why she was so mad. And you can tell she's a fan because she knows all your sayings. She know all your little, 1, 2. She said twirl. I mean, so much stuff that I even forgot. And I've been watching this since I was in high school. I'm 30 years old. Yeah, I think they got it wrong. And then on Andy's show, they tried to like berate Kenya and tried to make it seem like Kenya did so much worse than Britt. But later on, which was a little too late for me, Andy did get on Britt and was like, it seems like you were coming for Kenya. Like, what was your whole beef with her? What was your ordeal with her? It seemed like y'all always, had issues or whatever. But so far, I think it's cool. It is getting into that boring side because there's only 2 major storylines, right? It's Drew, Porsha, and Dennis, which is falling flat. And then it's the one with Kenya. So, I mean, it's not a lot going on. Normally, Real Housewives of Atlanta, everybody has their own thing going on. Then they come together, they got their own thing coming on, and then that's how we have a good production. And this is why I said Phaedra should have never been on Married to Medicine. This is why I said Phaedra should have stayed on Housewives of Atlanta because they needed that drama with Apollo. They needed that drama with Apollo because, I mean, I'm not seeing nothing much. I will say Angela is the real MVP. Angela is the real MVP of this season. She gives me old Nene. She gives me old Kenya. Like, the way she just don't care. Yes, she brought Drew. And if y'all would have asked her again, she don't give a fuck. She would have did it again. That's what she said. That's her words. And I love it. And she can handle her own. And she don't switch up. Like, she say her loyalty is to Drew. Her loyalty is to Drew all the way through. Even though Porsha tried to make it seem like it was some backdoor type stuff. How much she really don't like her. It was a scheme set up by Ty, but we all knew, girl. But let's get on her while we on her and Drew. Now, this is my synopsis, okay? This is how I feel. I feel like Porsha is sleeping with Dennis, but she can't say that part out loud. So instead, she got to come at Drew and say, my family. Because why would it matter if y'all not together? They're not together. That's not your husband. Why would it matter if Dennis was to film with Drew unless you still feeling some type of way with him? And you don't want him to get too close, especially since she's getting a divorce. But in my opinion, even though Drew be lying sometimes, I ain't gonna hold you. I love me some Drew, but she be lying. I honestly feel like she really did this for her family. And I heard the album. The album sound good. The album don't sound like a love and hip hop track. The album sounds like she had mouths to feed. Her and Shamia. So I honestly don't think Drew is trying to get at Dennis. I feel like, and Porsha admitted she was hypersensitive, which you can tell, with the whole ordeal, because when she spoke to Dennis, Dennis said, "Look, we said we was gonna promote it, so I don't see what the issue is." And she was like, "Are you serious? This is gonna determine your relationship with your daughter and our family." She kept using our family, our family. I'm like, yeah, she's sleeping with that man because ain't no way she doing all of this. And she was just married. She was literally just married into a whole new family, but Dennis can't do no business deals. And that's why Dennis was like, "Why do I have to converse business, which is business?" And she was like, "I mean, that's your business. You could do your business, but you still want to be in his business." And then y'all peep when she lied. She said, "Well, Drew told me a whole different story than what you're telling me. You're lying." She told you the exact same story, Porsha. But you did admit you was hypersensitive. You was going through divorce. Hey, honestly, I feel like you would have been better off just saying, and I get how it could be embarrassing for your peers to admit that you still sleeping with your child's father, even though he went around sleeping with everybody else. But I feel like it would have made more sense because your whole thing of this is our family, and you're gonna hurt our family by family with Drew didn't make sense. Didn't make sense. Let's see. Okay, well, it looks like Baddies is next on the list. Whoo! So Baddies Midwest is completely done and over with. And I thought this season was busting. Baddies was busting. Excuse me, y'all. I'm getting a picture of all of them so I can see what I'm finna say. So with Rolly, I felt like, what did I say about Rolly? I'm trying to see which one should I say first. So I'm gonna start with Natalie. I feel like with Rolly, for you to say Natalie was a bad friend the entire season and then go and fight for her and fight against Diamond at the reunion, I found that a little corny. I do like how you said you was gonna pay for that braids you ripped out her head. I don't like the way you did Slim. I don't feel like Slim is right for talking about her son, but I don't like the way she handled that situation. I feel like that was real bullyish. With Scotty, I feel like Scotty handled her once as she always do. She's not really a fighter. But I feel like she handled her ones throughout. Even with Big Lex, you could tell she was not trying to fight Lex. She was like, I mean, I'm here. You could tell she did not want to fight that girl, but she willing to get into the field. That's why I respect her. Biggie, when it comes to honor, if you're not a fighter, which is fine, because you ain't always got to get into the field if you know you're not going to really get in the field. Break it up at least. Do the bare minimum. Don't have that little girl. She's like that girl said on the episode, Anna is 70 pounds soaking wet. You gotta have her back in some way, some form of fashion. Jayla, I don't like that you were OG and they treating the OG like that. Like you're a real OG. All these little OGs on Baddies. Anybody that's called an OG on Zues Network is not an OG if they didn't come from Oxygen Bad Girls Club. Okay. I don't like the way they doing Jayla. I feel like Jayla is holding her own, but I feel like, wrap it up. just wrap it up. Even the way they did Camila, like, I don't think you should have to take a part in that. Akbar did not show up. I understand why. Because of the whole BB gun incident, she actually got in the head for real. So that's okay, Akbar, girl. You stay where you at, okay? Tasiki, I feel like Tasiki definitely handled her ones with Ivory. She definitely ate that first round, but I feel like that second round, Ivory came back. And handled hers. Damn in the Body, I feel like that okay. When it came to Natalie was not trying to get in the field as always starting stuff, making Scotty trying to get in the field, but Natalie was not trying to get in the field. Damn in the Body, she is what you call an asset, right? So that's the reason why, even though Damn in the Body snuck Natalie, and Natalie's supposed to be the boss, which I hate that she's not on an equal playing field as everybody else when it comes to that. But that's why she was back there trying to talk to her backstage, because she knew she was coming back in Africa. Long story short, Pretty P handled her ones. I like Pretty P, even though I feel like Dolly did win against Pretty P, but I feel like Pretty P and Summer fight similar. I'm not gonna hold you, but she was cute the whole season though. She was real cute. Big Lex, I enjoyed Big Lex in the beginning. I felt like Big Lex stood on how she felt, but then I felt like Big Lex was switching up a little bit, right? Because she would talk about jumping, but you always jumping in for Summer. So it's like, if you stand on jumping, you gotta stand on it. You can't stand on it when it just benefits you. So I feel like she just wanted, at that point, she just wanted to fight. But I do feel like she deserved that Baddies chance for sure. Summer, I feel like Summer is good for entertainment, but Summer is a liability. I don't think she's going to last on the show too long, and I can't believe she got the Bad Girls Club symbol on her chest when she's on Baddies from Zues Network. Diabolical work. But I feel like she's a liability. I don't feel like she's going to last too long, because they want entertainment. Like, she's a good Now That TV person. Like, but for commercial TV, I honestly don't see that lasting too long. And I don't like the fact that she just keep getting beat up and keep jumping into stuff. Like, that's probably why I think she won't last. Like, I don't know. She don't stand for nothing. Like, she just be getting beat up and just be jumping out there, you know. Who else? Jaden. I enjoy Jaden confessionals more than I enjoy Jaden on the show. Oh my God. Her confessionals, and it's so crazy because people be comparing her to Stewie, but like, she gives that. She really do be giving that in her confessionals. I thought she was more entertaining then. I don't think there's anybody else. Nunu looked real good at the reunion. Thank you for the like. Nunu looked real good at the reunion. I think she stood on whatever she needs to stand on. She wasn't starting nothing. She wasn't jumping in nothing. She pretty much did her own thing. I like Nunu. I'm trying to see who else. I think I covered everybody. Because I covered Ivory. Yeah, I covered everybody. So, y'all, I'm going to be here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. And we just going to chop it up about the TV shows that happened in the past, the little drama that's been going on. I went over Shannon Sharpe. I went over Funny Mike Barbara doing that weird one. I went over Dear Future Wifey podcast. So I'll pretty much talk about what I post on my page, because I post on my page every day, y'all. Every day you're going to get a video or shorts for me. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to come here and talk about it. Reality TV is like my main focus, but I also get into the regular drama as well. I'm getting my little vibe set up. I'm kind of liking the multicolored. This is going off a little bit. Really cute. I look really cute. But yeah, y'all, I'm new to live, but I post every single day. I've been on YouTube for about a year now, and I feel like I need to change it up and start going live now. So that's what I'm doing. I think that's all I really want to talk about. As always, y'all, do something for y'all today. I know it's the end of the day. Do something small. Get you something to eat. Get you something good to eat, good to snack on. Just do something for you today, okay? And always have a good one, and thank you for watching. Bye.